As well as being able to model inside of Fusion 360, you can also assemble. So it doesn't matter if you're manufacturing single parts or putting together assemblies, Fusion 360 has a workflow that makes it easy and fast to be able to produce the outputs that you're after. Today we're going to be having a look at how we start putting together those assemblies. And actually the good news is it's really straightforward. Fusion tries to take away a lot of the pain and stress of using mates or using constraints, and really simplifies that with joints to try and allow a simple selection and the ability to then work with the outputs from that selection. We take a component. Fusion 360 doesn't work with part templates and assembly templates. We just have a component. And then into that component, once it's saved, I'm going to drag and drop this simple axle. As soon as we bring a component into here or a part into here, you can see that my design icon changes to show that it's an assembly. And on the input of this part, we can control exactly how we want it to be, where we want it to be, so on and so forth. For the purpose of this, I want to place it around the 0, 0 and have 0 rotation on all of those. Once that's in, I'm going to select it and right click it to ground that component. By grounding it, we're saying that it is always in that position. It never moves. And it's important that you always do that with the first component that you place. We're then going to take this wheel and drag and drop it into place. And again, we could move it around if we wanted to very specifically pinpoint it in that location. But I don't want to. I'm just going to say OK, and then I'm going to use my joint tool. I'm going to go ahead and pick this edge just here. You can see Fusion automatically picks up the center line. We're then going to pick up this face just here, and Fusion automatically picks up the center point as well. From there, should you want to add any offsets, should you want to flip directions or anything like that, we can. So let's flip the direction so that it's not clashing. And should we want to add an offset, we can come in and add that with these sliders or with the type-in values on the right-hand side. By default, it just works with position, but should you want to throw in some motion on there as well, so if you wanted to create like a sliding joint or something like that, we use the motion tab to be able to control that motion. I'm going to press OK, and we can now see that if I try and click and drag this component, it's stuck in place. We can do the same thing on the other side just by drag and dropping another wheel into the model, pressing OK, and then again we can assemble that wheel up using this edge and this edge, and then flipping the output. So Fusion 360 makes it quick and easy to be able to put your components together into an assembly. Yes, this is a very simple example with just a few parts in there, but again, the process is nigh identical to that of what you're currently using in maybe your existing CAD application. So we have a parametric assembly that, much like the parts, can be driven with parameters and controlled with that parametric intelligence as you see fit, but the ease of constraining and working with those components to start building up a picture of your digital prototype.